Talking of healthiest foods, we usually consider the leafy greens first. They are cruciferous, low-calorie veggies alongside. But even among the leafy greens, we still have class of the healthiest among them. And I want to talk about one of the leafy greens, uncommon leafy greens. As a matter of fact, this is part 2 of it. That is very, very dense, more dense than all other leafy greens. And when we talk of healthy foods, I mean superfoods, healthiest foods, we should be talking of the nutrient density, the low calorie, then absence of cholesterol, vitamins and minerals, the presence, and all those things. And then lack of sodium, all those stuff. And then finally, there is one thing that makes the moringa leaves, which is the food I want to focus on among the healthiest foods. There's one thing that makes it stand out. And that's the fact that it has the ability to not only feed you, I mean yourselves, but also to help your body to detox. There are not many food that does this. I said this earlier in part 1 of the video on this food. And in this particular video, I want to highlight some of the occasions when you will need to go for moringa leaves. A lot of people are actually scared of it because we embraced it too much when we found it a few years back. And when the ugly sides of this nutrient-dense, I mean healthy food begin to show up, a lot of people abandoned it as it is today, forgetting all the health benefits. Now, it doesn't matter how healthy a food is, like I said before, when you take it in excess, it's going to obviously show you the ugly sides. And that's what happens with moringa. And so a few occasions when you really need to go for moringa are occasions when you need to fight inflammations. It has a lot of anti-inflammatories as against other leafy greens. It helps fight inflammations at all levels. Talking of moringa leaves. It's naturally caffeine-free. When you need to boost your calcium, I remember one incident during the early years of my menopause, I call it pre-menopause years. In fact, pains and some other, bone-related issues. Milk was not an option then. But I remember vividly that moringa leaf was there to rescue the situation. So it's good for those who are avoiding milk because it's inflammatory, because of other concerns about milk. It feeds yeast. And then if you need to look for food that is dense in nutrition, high in calcium, moringa leaves is one of such foods. If you are suffering insomnia, you find it difficult to sleep or to stay asleep, the moringa leaves is the food to go for because it has all the nutrients, the complete amino acids, which is rare to be found in plants. They are all the amino acids are complete. And so when you prepare your meals with it, or you take it as tea, it's a complete stuff. You're not lacking in any of those nutrients. When you are going through pains and you are afraid of milk because it may likely increase your pain, then you should be thinking of the moringa leaves. Now, when you are also trying to avoid caffeinated teas, caffeinated foods, you need to go for moringa leaves. When you are, managing or battling with liver issues, lungs, heart, all kinds of ailments, moringa leaves is good. But when you are going through high blood pressure, it's good to be cautious because the moringa leaves is a blood thickener. It is also good for those who want to heal of stomach ulcers, it's one of the top foods that you should be going for because it's a blood thickener. For those who are managing high blood pressure or those people who are managing ailments that does not like too much iron in the body, you need to stay away from it because it's too much high in iron. And when the iron is too much in the body, of course, we don't feel okay. And the bacteria takes advantage of it. And some ailments, when managing them, you need to reduce your iron. And so you need to take it cautiously. And I already said it in the earlier video that it is always good to apply a break when taking moringa leaves. Whether you're taking it as tea or you're adding it to your soup and stews, it is not always easy to get the fresh moringa leaves in the market like other leafy greens. But the dried moringa powder is one of the best ways to store it, and the nutrients are still intact. But it must be properly processed. You don't have to keep it like people just try to dry it for several hours, days. It doesn't go. There are specific number of hours that you must ensure that if you're drying it inside the house as is expected, not in the direct sun, you must within that 72 hours. Otherwise, you use heat. You heat up the environment. You raise the heating in the environment or the room where it is so that it dries within the specific time so that the nutrients will be preserved. Otherwise, you miss it out. And so you can dry it yourself, grind to smooth, keep it and start to occasionally use it. I mean, to fortify your meals, to take as tea, to support your immune system, to fight inflammations, and several other conditions. As I said earlier, don't overdo it. Too much is not good. You will surely face. I've used it to manage and to reverse some ailments, like I said earlier. But when you take it too much, you definitely won't like it again. So take it cautiously. Food remains our medicine, but moderation is our rule. Don't forget to click the follow button and subscribe for more.